Justin's fault. Oh, Daddy, he was acting so smug. He kept asking me how I like roughing it.
Well, did you tell him?
Well, I told him that I wouldn't have to be roughing it for very long. And he just smiled at me like he knew better.
Justin can be irritating.
So then I told him that Max and I were planning to build a house. And he still made fun of me, so I got mad, and I showed him the plans from the architect's drawings, and then Max walked in, and then everything went wrong.
Well, what happened?
Well, first he snapped at Justin, then he snapped at Elena,
Now, look,
and then...
Rena, you know perfectly well that Max and Justin haven't been on exactly the best of terms lately, and Elena...
Honey, I felt sorry for her. He never even gave her a chance to tell her side of the story.
You keep out of the middle of Max and Elena's battles.
Yeah, we got our own battles. When Max saw those drawings for the house, he just, well, he went crazy.
Max did know about the plans, didn't he?
Of course he did. I mean, well, he hadn't seen the drawings before because I was saving those. I'd only gotten them from the architects the night before, and I wanted to save them for last night so I could surprise him.
Well, you did.
Daddy, when Max saw those drawings, he started shouting, "I can't afford this house." That's exactly what he said.
Rena, you know Max always worries about money.
Well, I think he worries too much about money. Seems to me that's all he's concerned about these days.
Well, now, look, he hasn't had much money.
I told him he could have a mortgage. I told him that you would sign for him.
Yes, of course I would, but I don't really think that's what you want.
Daddy, he won't even discuss it with me. Now, that's not fair. This was supposed to be my dream house. He promised me he'd build it, and he's going back on his word. Now, what can I do? You gotta help me, Daddy.
Hi, Stryker.
Vicky.
Rena, dear, what a nice surprise. Am I interrupting something?
No, you're not interrupting anything, Vicky. Just a family discussion.
Is anything wrong? Rena, dear, are you all right?
No, Mother, I am not all right.
It's nothing serious. Max and Rena have a little disagreement about the house.
Oh, the house.
Max thinks that Rena's plans are a little too expensive.
Are they?
No.
Well, now, look, he's going to have to borrow money for them.
Daddy, there's got to be a solution.
Rena, what do you expect your father to do?
I expect him to think of something.
But now, look, I would build that house in a minute if I thought Max would stand for it, but he won't.
Rena, dear, I'm sorry things haven't gone the way you want, but I really think you should be talking to your husband, not your father.
You can't talk to somebody who won't listen, Mother. The point is, you see, that Max promised me that he'd build this house.
Well, obviously Max doesn't want to build the house right now. So why don't you take a little money and redecorate the cabin?
I tried that and he had a fit. The only place that he wants to spend any money is on cattle and fences.
Now, he did take that loan to buy Kate's land.
And now he's acting like we can't spend 1 red cent without him paying that loan. I don't know. Maybe if he was clear of the loan, he'd feel more like he can take on a mortgage so we can build our house.
Well, I don't know. Would you excuse me, you two, for a minute? Hallie, that appointment with Ryan Connor, is that still on? Well, he said he'd get back to you. Oh, he did. Oh, that's fine. Yes, all right, fine. I'm sorry, you two. You're going to have to excuse me. I'm late for a meeting with Ryan Connor. He's got some problems that he wants me to solve.
Well, what about me, Daddy? What about my problems?
Well, you just listen to your mother, Rena. If it's advice on how to make your husband happy, I'm sure that her advice will be worth a lot more than mine. Goodbye, honey. Goodbye, love.
Bye, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I should have known better than to expect any sympathy from you.
Now, Rena, I do sympathize with you.
You're taking Max's side like you always do, and I don't think that that's being sympathetic.
I want you both to be happy.
How can you expect me to be happy living in a dump like that cabin out in the middle of nowhere?
Come on, Rita. Come on, let's sit down and discuss this.
Mother, I don't want to hear another lecture from you.
I am not going to lecture you, I promise. There's no need to get emotional about this thing. Emotions just cloud the issue. Rena, dear, you have got to learn to be more reasonable.
Max is the one who's being unreasonable. It's that darn pride of his. He's just so afraid that one of his ranch hands is going to think that he's not a real man if he spends some of my money.
Well, I understand that. Max is a very independent person. But you cannot force that man to go into debt to buy you a house or buy your happiness. That is the worst thing you can do.
Well, that's easy for you to say. You live in town. You live in a wonderful house. You've got your work. You've got friends you can visit.
Oh, well, why don't you invite your friends out to the ranch for a visit?
Oh.
Then why don't you drive into town 1 or 2 days a week?
Max doesn't even want me to drive into town. He'll never come into town with me because he's either too busy or he's too tired. That ranch is his whole life, Mother.
You knew that when you married him.
What am I supposed to do? Give in? Do everything he wants me to do?
No, and I don't think that Max would expect you to do that.
We were so much better off before we got married. Maybe we should have just left well enough alone.
Honey, everyone finds themselves in a difficult situation sometimes. And every marriage has its problems.
Yeah. But I've got the perfect solution to our problems, only he won't even discuss it.
It's not perfect if it doesn't make him happy.
Mom, I need that house. I want that house. He promised he'd build it for me, and now he's going back on his word. I thought a man's word was supposed to be as good as gold.
And I thought you were going to try to make this marriage work.
I am trying. I get up every morning at the crack of dawn, and I fix him breakfast. I stay at that cabin all morning long, just in case he wants to come home for some coffee. I fix him supper. Almost every night I fix him supper. What else are you supposed to... What am I supposed to do?
You could try to understand Max's point of view.
He's not trying to understand mine.
I don't think Max will ever understand your need for a 20-room house.
12 rooms.
All right, 12 rooms.
He doesn't even care about a bedroom. I mean, he'd just as soon sleep in the living room for the rest of our lives. You know, in the cabin, we have this spare room. Well, he keeps his junk in it. I had these terrific redecorating ideas where I'd make that room our bedroom. And you know what?
Max objected?
He had a fit when the king-size bed was delivered. He said it cost too much.
Did Max know how much it cost before you ordered it?
Oh, I didn't tell him that I was ordering it. I wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh, honey, you can't do that sort of thing.
Well, why not? I love surprises.
Some people don't. And Rena, dear, if you're not careful, one of these days Max may surprise you.